Today's training we are going to learn with how do we create a calculation measures in OBIEE. Calculation measure. How do we create a calculation measures? So creating calculation measures, what is a calculation measure? Calculation measure or creating a new column with a formula, everything is same. Like creating a calculation measure is, let us assume we have a requirement saying that we purchased 2 pens which costs $100. So I want to find each pen cost. So here what happens, like we will do a calculation in such a way, 100 divided by 2, which gives us 50. So which defines each pen cost in real time. So in the same way, let us assume in our requirement we have 2 columns. From database, one is revenue and other one is units. Our client want make use of these 2 columns and build a new column which should show him all the time actual unit price. That means we can use revenue divided by units, which will project as actual unit price. So how we can build a new calculation measure in OBIEE 11G? A new calculation measure can be built on a fact table using fact table columns. So this way, like whenever I want to create a new measure, can be built on a fact table using a fact table columns. Here what I will do, I'll create a new calculation measure onto the fact table that should build with the formula revenue divided by units. So let us see how we can build. I'll make these changes in offline mode, and moreover, like the existing changes which are there in the online mode, those changes cannot be replicated onto our old repository, that is training.rpd. So in order to make that one done, in order to make it work, so what we can do here is, like I'll go to file and I'll select copy as repository or save as copy as repository. I'll select my original training.rpd. So the existing changes what we done before, like converting a snowflake to star schema, all these changes will be applied here onto the training rpd which is already exist. So now I will open my rpd in offline mode. You can see the changes what we saved will be available here. Customer address, everything. This is how we can save the online RPD. That changes reflect into your existing RPD from the online mode to the offline mode. So now here I want to build a formula here. Okay, let's see how we can build a calculation measure. Calculation measure can be built here onto the fact table column. So if I right click here and select new object, this new object can be built as a logical column. So right click on the fact table and go to new object and a logical column. All the time, whenever we do some changes, whenever we calculate, so whenever we want to calculate any calculation measure, whenever we want to do some changes, all the time that calculation need to be created onto the fact table columns, because fact table columns will have all the time the values which we can use for calculation purpose. So here I want to create a calculation measure column here with the new logical column, and I want to use revenue and units column which are already existing there. I want to use those two columns and I want to build a solution. So here I'll select logical column and I will use a name called actual unit price, and I'll be selecting column source here. Column source, from the column source here by default it will show derived from physical mappings. That means already this column is defining in the physical map. Now I want to select it derived from the existing columns using an expression. Once we click FX here, edit expression will be available. Expression builder, derived logical column. Here in category you will have logical tables and then operators, expressions, functions, constraints and types. Whichever you want to use it for your reporting solution, that solution you can use it. So here I want to use a logical tables in my formula, that is revenue column, and a units column which will be from my fact table. So I am using logical tables. Under that logical tables, which table I need to use? I will be using F1 revenue table. And this F1 revenue table, if I click single arrow, so revenue table will be available here. Okay, this revenue table, what I need to do, I need to apply division symbol. I can apply directly, or down you can see division. So division is applied. And next, revenue divided by units. Again unit column will be available here. I am clicking single arrow. See, units also created. Now once we click OK, new column is created, actual unit price, which is having a calculation measure in the backend, revenue divided by units. That means this single column, newly created actual unit price column, is using with the backend formula revenue column divided with actual unit price, like revenue column divided with units, which defines you the actual unit price. Now I am dragging and dropping this actual unit price into base facts, so it is added here. Now the next step, like let us talk about one more requirement. In an university, students attended exams. Want to declare ranking for students. So which ranks on the marks what they secured. So here, so I can apply rank to their marks so that student secured highest mark will be awarded with rank 1. The same way rank 2, rank 3, like this. In the same way, we have two columns, revenue and units, and revenue, which shows the revenue for the customers and all. Our client want to provide ranking for the revenue. That means rank is a function should be applied onto the revenue column. Once a rank function is applied onto the revenue column, so what happens in real time is, once it is applied, this revenue will generate whatever the highest revenue. If a customer is added, if a customer is getting the highest revenue, that customer will be declared as a rank 1, and the next person, whoever the customer is getting the second revenue, that customer will be declared as a second revenue highest. In this way, we can declare the customers with 1 ranking for each and every customer, and that customer for each and every ranking they will be awarded with some analysis marks and all. So the same way, ranking can be declared on any one of the column, whatever the column is available there. Here we will design a ranking for the revenue column. For that, I am going to administration tool, going here, creating a new column, right click, new object, logical column, applying here name as revenue rank, and I am selecting column source derived from the existing column using an expression. So if I click FX here, I can select here F1 revenue, and I want to select function that is display function. So we'll have so many functions, date functions, conversions. Depending on the requirement, we can use that function. So I want to use display function. Display will have rank. Let me add rank of numeric expression. Numeric expression is that you can select a column into this numeric expression. Expression is nothing but we want to apply a rank onto the column, so we are selecting rank of column. Here I'll select logical tables, and I'll go to F1 revenue, and I'll select revenue. Here we can see revenue, rank of a revenue is applied here. Once I click OK, revenue rank is created. These two columns were created here, and I am moving revenue rank also into my base facts. So revenue rank is also created. Now if I click save and check the global consistency changes, consistency check did not find any errors, warnings, best practice violations. So this repository is running and it is available. Okay, next I want to go here and deploy this RPD. For deploying this RPD, because I have done the changes in offline mode, I am deploying it once again. WebLogic 1, 2, 3. Now if I click reload server metadata also, my changes will not be available here. See, because I have done the changes in offline mode. So I am just redeploying it. Going here, business intelligence. Click on core applications. We'll select log and edit configuration. We'll browse our repository and apply. If I click apply, this one is 8. Before it is 7, now it is 8. Now I am selecting activate changes. Activate changes completed successfully. Now from here, from enterprise manager, try to restart the services. So I'm selecting restart to apply recent changes. Once we click here to restart, so it will ask us, are you sure want to restart BI components? Yes, I want to restart. It will take 2-3 minutes to get restart with all the services. You can see now all the services are alive. So once we go to the enterprise manager, here we can see restart all completed successfully. So our repository got deployed into the analytics. Now here I'll click close, and which will show you the status, everything green. That means all your services are up. Now we need to log into your analytics, sign out and relogin, so that newly created calculation measures also will be get available there. Here I'll log into WebLogic with WebLogic 123. Here once we click the analysis training subject area, here we'll get per name year, products, brand, customers, customer name, and I want revenue, units, actual unit price, and revenue rank. So if I click results, what will happen here is it will not show me the results directly. It will show me the results, but rank it is not showing in an order, right? That means by default OBIEE we can design a for line OBIEE from the RPD backend, but that cannot focus into the front end by showing the ranking in an ascending or a descending. That we need to manually do the change from the front end. Go back to criteria, and here we'll go to the column revenue corner, and I'll apply a sort ascending. Once we apply sort ascending and click on results, we can see here ranking is assigned for the revenues. Revenue of a customer who secured highest revenue 37,300 showcased with rank 1 and 36,617 showcased with 2, right? This is the way how our ranking can be defined. Depending on the formula what we applied in the backend, we are testing with an RPD which is deployed in an offline mode. Development changes were been deployed, and that changes we are testing it in the front end. We are able to see here ranking 1 to 3 depending on the customer's revenue, what it is displaying beside the customer name column, that is revenue. And the next thing what we are going to do here is actual unit price. I am going to try to modify the changes, like I am trying to test the changes, formula changes with revenue divided by units. So 37,300 divided by 2709. So which is projecting me a value of 13.76891 something, right? So here we can understand with this analysis, if an revenue rank is not working, we can do the sorting order. But here OBIEE is rounding the value, that means it is not showing the decimal values. Our client or a customer might not accept this, because if we do a manual calculation, a small decimal point also will make a large difference onto the huge volume of data. So here if you want to project a decimal point into your column value, so how we can do that? Okay, so here if we want to do it, if we want to make it like revenue divided by units, we can do a perfect thing from the front end. We'll go to the criteria tab. In the criteria tab, we'll go to column properties. On the actual unit price, we'll go to a data format and we'll apply a decimal 10 or 12, whatever you want. So once you apply and click the results, we can see actual unit price, it is showing in decimal values, right? Before it is not showing, because OBIEE will generate any value, even it is decimals also, by default it will generate into rounding. Okay, in order to avoid that, we can make if we want a data to be displayed in a decimal, so we can change the data format, default data format, and we can change it look like a decimal. This is how we can create a calculation measures from the backend RPD, and we can make use of it. Now you can ask me a question, Shrikant, we are doing so many changes here, and we are trying to implement some new calculation measures from the RPD, but can't we do the same calculation measure in the front end? Okay, yes, we can do it. We can build the same calculation measures in the front end. There is no restriction. But the thing is, like, what happens? First thing, performance we need to look. If this report is running a query, it is going through RPD presentation layer, BM layer, and fiscal layer, and it is hitting the database, and it is pulling the result and showing it here. That means calculation is going to be done in the query itself from the RPD. And if you try to build a formula here, after revenue and units getting here, it will try to calculate in the front end. So if it is then simple formula, then it is fine, and if it is a very big formula, big calculation you are creating with so many case statements under conditions and all, so what happens, that cannot be get filtered directly. That means like it will take some time to do the calculation into the report. So what happens, automatically visual display of your report will be going to be get increased, performance will be get degraded. So client or a customer might not accept this. What they think is like once they select the login to the OBIEE application, they should be able to view the results within seconds, less than 30 seconds or less than 15 seconds. If it is taking more time to pull the results in, then it's not a very good performance in the reporting tool. In order to avoid that, normally first thing we'll try to do the things from the DB or from the RPD. If there is any specific thing we need to create, we can create it from the front end. Here I'll show you a small example creating the same calculation measures in the front end, but that can be applied only for this report because it is not calling from table, but we can build a new column here in the report also. For that I am going to criteria, in this criteria I am selecting actual unit price. Once again actual unit price, and here I want to build a formula for the front end. So I am selecting here drop down list, edit formula. First I'll change this one, report actual unit price. This one should be revenue divided by units. So this one is selected as revenue divided by units. Report actual unit price, and actual unit price again. Once again I am creating here report rank. That means we are developing these formulas from the front end. Report rank. And here I want to apply a rank function. So here I'll have the functions, insert function. Rank is like, I'll check where I can find it. Here I can find in the aggregations. See, calculates the rank for each value satisfying the numeric expression argument. The highest number is assigned as a rank of 1, and each successive rank is assigned to the next consecutive integer 1, 2, 3, 4. If certain values are equal, they are assigned the same rank. Example 1, 1, 1 and 4 will be displayed. The ranking, how we have seen in our childhood, like when we are getting a progress report, like we were able to have a ranks, right? If 2 persons secured the same scores, like it will be ranked as 1, 1, and the next 2 will be eliminated and third rank will be generated. In this way, how this ranking function will work. So I want to apply a rank. So rank of expression. Expression is nothing but my column. So I am expanding base facts, selecting the revenue column. If I select this, if I click OK, so you can see here we created new columns here, and if I click results, again we can see here ranking is coming fine, and report AUP is 14 because we have not applied the decimal. Okay, again I'll go back to criteria. I'll go to AUP. I'll go to column formulas, properties, data format, and I'll apply decimals once again to 12. Here I'll apply 12. There I applied 10. Here I'll apply 12. Once I click on results, you can see here which is showing you the decimal output, right? So here we have learned how do we create a calculations, what's the need of creating a calculation measures, in what way calculation measures will be helping us in real time to create something for the end user and to make the end user use with the calculation measures. What are the different types of logics we built using the calculation measures? And along with this, like the next thing here, we have created different calculation measures. Hope you enjoyed this session. Like this is how we'll create calculation measures from the RPD, as well as the same measures we can use it from the front end. Thank you.